Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm going to quote Roberta Clark, who's she's an official with the Anti-Defamation League, so I'm blanking on her official title. But she says that you counteract bad free speech with good free speech. And I think that's very wise, and it requires people take initiative and speak up and all that. But yeah, we can say ugly, hateful things, and much of that's protected. And it can be counteracted with good things, true things, honest, good things.
Brother Chisi.
Well, I'm all for anyone speaking whatever they want. That way we can see how mentally ill they are. And then we can start the process of healing. Our country, another Buddhist teaching is that really everything boils down to our diet. And I'm not just talking about our physical diet, what we eat, but that's also a very important component. But also what we take into our mind, into our emotions, into our consciousness. I think that after 9/11, what I noticed was the media, and it was very interesting to observe with my mind that had been trained in meditation to then put it out into this phenomenon of the media. And I noticed that there was a lot of more media to feed into our fear, into our outrage, and I saw that this was a collective mass mental illness being fed and taken all by all of us. So we have to be very careful. What is it that we're feeding ourselves? Because, and there are powers out there, usually motivated by money, who are in control of the media, and maybe the government too, and other things in our world. And we just need to be more mindful about what are we taking in, or what are we believing in, what is being fed to us. Or are we just like blindly letting it, getting soaked into our consciousness. But the other thing is, yes, physical diet too. If you notice, the American diet, it does not necessarily support mental health in ourselves, in our children and in our adults. All the kind of food and junk we eat, it really does aggravate our emotions. I work a lot with teenagers, and I see there's just a lot of the problems stem from what they're eating. And they don't realize it because it's not their fault. They're just eating whatever the society is telling them to eat. But it's causing them a lot of hormonal imbalances, and it's already hard enough going through puberty, for goodness sakes. We don't have to make it harder. And so they don't understand all these emotions that are going on. And also, what kind of meat are we eating? Do you know factory farming? I mean, I don't know if any of us know what kind of meat we're eating, but let me tell you, if you're eating meat from animals that are living their entire life in pain, in horrific conditions, in smelly conditions, in crowded conditions, in unhappy conditions, you are eating unhappiness. You're eating all of the insecticides and the pesticides and everything else going into the food. And that is going to affect our consciousness and the way we're so emotional. We're not able to be balanced. So that's not helping our mental health either. But anyway, those are just some thoughts. And by the way, it is better to be at least semi-vegetarian.
Liz?
The free speech issue is a really complex one. And I had the opportunity too long ago to want to remember of, I'd always just assumed that it was an absolute right, like most Americans do, and were trying to do. But I had the opportunity to spend about a week at a training institute at the Anne Frank Center in Amsterdam, and to follow them after that with a curriculum that they've developed for young children in their country. And they believe, based on their experience with the Nazi period of their history, that there are limits to free speech. And the limit they see is defining any other human being as less human than another, whether that's based on race, religion, culture, whatever. That's the one thing that's not allowed is free speech in their country and in their school curriculums, or anything else. You cannot be less human than